Joro begins his life as a high school student. Both the student council president Cosmos and Joro's childhood friend Himawari ask him to go out on a date. On Saturday, Joro goes on his date with Cosmos, and at the end she reveals that her real objective was to ask him to help get close to the person she loves, Sun-chan, ace baseball player of the school, and Joro's best friend. On the next day, Joro goes on his date with Himawari and she tells him the same thing. Both girls evidently fell in love with Sun-chan during the regional baseball finals last year. Joro reluctantly agrees to help both of them, at the back of his mind thinking that he can at least get together with whoever loses. Constantly harassed at school by the two girls to help, Joro seeks solitude during lunch hour at the deserted school library. Here, he is approached by the librarian Pansy, who has been stalking him, and she confesses to Joro that she's in love with him. Joro continues trying to help Himawari and Cosmos get closer to Sun-chan, but progress is slow on both ends. He also has to see Pansy during lunch, who reveals that Sun-chan is in love with someone. When Joro prods Sun-chan about his crush, Sun-chan confesses that he is in love with Pansy, who he ran into at the regional baseball finals last year. Joro tries to get Pansy to go out with Sun-chan, but ends up making her upset. At the library, Joro is suddenly approached by Sun-chan, Himawari, and Cosmos, who reveal they know he's been playing them along. After being confronted by Sun-chan, Himawari, Cosmos, and Pansy for his scheme, Joro gets knocked out by Sun-chan. Due to a student watching the confrontation, the school finds out about the incident and the student body ostracizes Joro. Receiving a text from Pansy after a week of bullying, Joro goes to the library to hear Pansy's true feelings, only to witness Sun-chan flirting with Pansy. Suddenly, Pansy lets out that she knew Sun-chan had tricked Joro by using Himawari and Cosmos' feelings for him to manipulate them into trapping Joro into a bad situation. When confronted into his motives, Sun-chan admits that he had been in a situation like Joro in middle school, only in reverse, and he wanted revenge on Joro for taking away the one girl he had a crush on. Pansy rejects Sun-chan's feelings for her, revealing that she had fallen for Joro after seeing him wait for Sun-chan at the north entrance of Kashin with Sun-chan's favorite foods. Sun-chan then tries to force himself onto Pansy, but Joro comes to her aid and berates Sun-chan for hurting the girls who loved him. The next day, Himawari and Cosmos fend off the bullies and Sun-chan apologizes in front of the class. Joro reports all of this to Pansy, but still doesn't want to keep seeing her in the library. Pansy then reveals her true form and Joro decides to start visiting her every day. Joro seems to be getting a confession from his classmate Asunero, a member of the newspaper club. However, it turns out she is accusing him of being a scumbag who is three-timing Pansy, Himawari, and Cosmos. She threatens to expose his misdeeds by publishing an article. After Joro protests that he isn't three-timing, Asunero agrees to shadow him and wait till the Flower Dance Festival before deciding if she should publish the article. To get Asunero off his back, Joro asks the three girls to avoid him for a while, but they refuse. Joro is picked as the flower boy for the Flower Dance Festival, a traditional festival where one boy will dance with three girls. Himawari and Cosmos are two of the girls, but no one wants to be the third girl due to some strange rumors flying around Joro. In the end, Sun-chan becomes the third girl for the dance. Asunero's article on scumbag Joro gets accidentally published and Joro is confronted by the class's Queen Bee Sasenkwa, who wants to teach him a lesson. Asunero apologizes, but due to the article, Pansy, Himawari, and Cosmos agrees that they should keep apart from Joro in the meanwhile. Asunero offers to practice with Joro instead for the flower dance. The day of the flower dance is here and there is trouble. The PTO got wind that the third girl in the dance is a boy and protests. Sun-chan is forced to drop out of the dance. Joro asks Asunero to take his place as she has been practicing with him and would be the most logical replacement. When Joro tells Cosmos about making Asunero the replacement, Cosmos insists on talking to Asunero alone about it, but Joro insists on tagging along. In the student council office, Cosmos reveals that she was spreading rumors about Joro to isolate him. Getting the PTO to ask Sun-chan to drop out was all a ploy by Asunero so that she could become the third girl of the flower dance. Evidently, Asunero has been in love with Joro since the regional baseball finals last year, but since he is constantly surrounded by the three girls, she came up with this plan to get close to him. Joro rejects Asunero and she goes to print a retraction of all the scumbag claims against Joro. Cosmos informs that the third girl for the flower dance is Pansy and that this was the plan all along. At the flower dance, Joro dances flawlessly with Himawari, Cosmos then Pansy. Pansy appears in her true form and the school is abuzz with the appearance of the mysterious beautiful girl. Joro, Sun-chan, Pansy, Himawari, and Cosmos goes to a water amusement park. The three girls have a competition to see who Joro has the most fun with. Joro goes with Himawari to a water slide, Cosmos to ride a dolphin float, and Pansy for hot spring bath. At the end, Joro declares Sun-chan the person he had the most fun with. At the water amusement park, Joro has a chance encounter with Sasenko, who is feeling bad about threatening Joro in episode 5. Joro mentions offhand to her that he prefers black hair to dyed hair. The next day in school, Sasenko has changed her hair to black and she with her gang apologizes to Joro. A new transfer girl, Tsubaki, has appeared and she creates a ruckus by kissing Joro's hand and saying she is indebted to him. Evidently, during the regional baseball finals last year, Joro bought a lot of food from her food stand and gave her encouragement when her shop was on the verge of collapse. Thanks to Joro, her family shop did a turnaround and even opened a second branch. At the library later on, Pansy lends Joro her prize book and asks him to read it. On his way home, he bumps into Himawari and accidentally dropped Pansy's book. After realizing he lost the book, he goes looking for it and encounters two girls who helps him look for it. The girls find Pansy's book, but it has already been badly damaged. The girls also told him that the book is a rare one and it very expensive. Despite Pansy mentioning that she doesn't need a replacement book, Joro insists on getting a new book for Pansy, so he works part-time at Tsubaki's shop. Despite starting the part-time job well, Joro accidentally spills beer on a customer and gets a lashing down. Dejected from messing up on the job, he takes it out on Pansy but quickly regrets it. While brooding over this, he has a chance encounter with a stranger called Hose who gives him some advice on patching things up. Joro takes his advice and patches things up with Pansy. His part-time job goes off without a hitch and he finally receives his paycheck. He goes to buy the replacement book for Pansy, but someone just bought the last copy before him. Dejected, he encounters Himawari, who is revealed to be the person who bought the book and gives it to Joro. Himawari had noticed the damaged book and wanted to give him a new copy. Himawari had used the money she had been saving up to buy a new tennis racket for her important tennis tournament. Joro gets angry as he wanted Himawari to focus on her tennis tournament. However, they soon make up. Joro gets her a new racket as a birthday present and she goes on to win the qualifiers for the tennis tournament. Joro seems to be on the verge of another confession from a first-year girl called Tampopo, who is also the baseball team manager. However, it turns out that she wants his help to hook up Pansy and Sun-chan. Tampopo believes that getting Sun-chan a girlfriend would help his mental state and bring out his baseball talent more, thus helping the team. She had also figured out that Pansy was the mysterious third girl at the flower dance. Afraid that she might reveal Pansy's secret, Joro reluctantly agrees to help. After some shenanigans, Pansy confronts Tampopo and reveals her feelings for Joro, thus making Tampopo give up her plan. The school library is on the verge of being shut down due to lack of use. Joro encounters Hose again and he agrees to help. Hose brings along two girls as added help, who happens to be the same ones that helped Joro find Pansy's book in episode 8. They introduce themselves as Cherry and Tsukumi. However, it turns out that Hose has been the person that Pansy has been desperately trying to avoid, even changing her appearance so that he couldn't recognize her. Hose, Cherry, Tsukumi and Pansy were all in the same middle school, but Hose became too obsessed with Pansy, thus causing her to cut all contact and go to a different high school and hide her true appearance. Cherry and Tsukumi later revealed that they are in love with Hose but realizes he is in love with Pansy, so they want to support his love and make them a couple. The school library has at last been saved and receiving more attention from students than usual. But Hose, who is in love with Pansy, still comes daily to the library, making Pansy very uncomfortable. Sun-chan tries to help by asking Pansy to be his girlfriend so as to discourage Hose, but Hose is relentless. Joro tries to help also by proposing a challenge with Hose, with the loser cutting all ties with Pansy. The challenge is whoever gets the most beret from girls will win. He gives the 6 girls at the library a beret each and tells them to either give them to himself or Hose. In addition, whichever high school wins the regional baseball finals gets another vote. The winner of the challenge will be decided after the regional baseball finals. Joro thinks he has the advantage cause 4 of the girls are his friends, but right off the bat, Himawari, Cosmos and Asirano confess their love to Joro and give their berets to Hose. Will Joro succeed? Or is this the end of Joro's relationship with Pansy? Subscribe so you don't miss the recap of Season 2.